International capital is concentrating in Seoul. The KOSPI index recently climbed past historic milestones, fueled by a specific set of drivers that have caught the attention of the world's largest investment firms. Standard financial models often treat South Korea as a broad industrial powerhouse, where performance is tied to a diverse mix of manufacturing, heavy industry, and consumer electronics. But the data behind this rally reveals a narrower reality. If you strip away the hundreds of standard companies in the index, you find that Samsung Electronics and SK hynix now represent 47 inside AI data centers. Specialized processors crunch calculations at such a high speed that traditional memory chips cannot keep up. This has made high bandwidth memory, or HBM, a critical bottleneck. HBM solves this by stacking silicon layers to widen the data pipe, allowing for the rapid flow of information these servers require. Samsung Electronics is positioning itself to address this shortage by leveraging its massive capital and existing manufacturing infrastructure. The company pursues a strategy of vertical integration. Samsung produces the base DRAM and NAND memory and then uses its own foundries to package those chips alongside logic processors, handling the entire sequence within its own facilities. This Mirai asset table outlines the scale of this ambition. Device Solutions' operating profit is projected to rise from 32.7 trillion won in 2024 to over 444 trillion by 2027, driven by a sharp rise in DRAM and NAND revenue amid surging AI demand. Utilizing its sheer volume and integrated production, Samsung aims to establish a profit floor that its smaller rivals cannot match as the infrastructure build-out continues. SK hynix took a different path, pivoting its cleanrooms to focus on stacking silicon layers for high-bandwidth memory earlier than many of its peers. Rather than going it alone, SK hynix formed an alliance with the chip designer NVIDIA and the manufacturer TSMC. This partnership allowed them to secure a dominant market share in the high-margin memory used in most AI accelerators today. These divergent strategies have led analysts at KB Securities to issue 2027 forecasts that would place both South Korean firms at the top of the global technology sector. Analysts project that Samsung Electronics could reach 488 trillion won in operating profit by 2027, a figure that would put its earnings on par with the world's leading technology designers. In the same period, SK hynix is projected to reach 358 trillion won. As this chart shows, that would secure them the third spot globally in terms of operating profit, placing them ahead of companies like Alphabet and Microsoft. These two approaches, one based on vertical scale and the other on specialized alliances, are currently funneling a significant portion of global technology spending into the South Korean market. These projections assume the memory semiconductor sector can avoid its historical boom and bust cycle, where spikes in demand are often followed by oversupply and falling prices. There is also a major macroeconomic risk, reliance on continued spending by global data center operators. If these companies find that AI software is not generating enough profit, they may choose to reduce their massive hardware orders. Both firms also face internal challenges. Samsung must manage the technical difficulty of scaling next-generation packaging, while SK hynix remains heavily dependent on a small number of major customers for its most advanced products. It is important to note that these figures are analyst models of a supercycle. They represent a potential financial peak rather than a guaranteed outcome. The direction of the KOSPI is now tied to these forecasts. Its next major move will be determined by the capital investment decisions made inside the world's AI data centers, far beyond the borders of Seoul.